All right, this is going to be my personal breakdown on how I do covers. First off, I want to say that hooks and the content I think is the most important. Once you get content down, after you get some good reach and some good things going with your content, then you should focus on covers because it doesn't matter if your thumbnail is good, if like the clickbait is good, if someone clicks into your video and then the video is trash. So work on the videos and the hooks first. Once you get that and you have a good understanding and concept and a proven result of getting good content, then I think you should try to start improving your covers. So this is going to be my personal process on how I did covers. I encourage anybody to put any links or resources in the comments that help them do their covers, or any cover editing tutorials, or give us your cover breakdown on how you do your covers in the comments, please. That way we can all share our ideas and collaborate together as a community. All right, I'm going to make a little document for y'all, so I'm going to put this here and try to make it all official. So step one is studying. So first we need to study some covers to see what type of covers that we want to do. So the first thing I would recommend is finding some pages that have your same type of clientele, right? So me, I deal with, black people hair, coarse waves, curls, braids, whatever you want to call it. I deal with those type of people hair. So if I cannot try to go and study, T Fades, right? I can't try to go and study him because most of his clientele is like straight hair or like the Edgar cuts and stuff like that. So I can't really use the covers that he uses because we don't have the same type of clientele. Now this goes for action covers, like these type of covers here that you see. These consultation type of covers, I think you can study from anywhere, but I would definitely recommend trying to find someone within your clientele. That way, if they're doing something like this, that way you can actually do that. Like I don't have any clients that I can achieve this cover with because my clients don't have this type of hair, right? So first you want to identify, find some pages that have your type of clientele. After you find some pages like that, you want to look for and screenshot spikes. So I'm going to use myself right now, but you can use, whoever's has the same type of clientele as you. So for me, somebody that's really banging right now would be Trey or Gabriel, right? He has the same type of clientele as me. So I would look for spikes. Look for and screenshot spikes. So what a spike is something that performed a lot better than all the other posts. So Gabriel's page, he performs very well. So I would always look for something that's in the million. Let me not even say spikes. Like look for and screenshot videos with over 1 million views. This is what I personally did. Everything that I took a screenshot of that I wanted to recreate a cover, it was always had 1 million views. So if we come on Gabriel's page, right, I would be looking and then I would say, okay, this got 3.9 million. This cover is good. Screenshot it. And then on my phone, I would screenshot it. The little, it would take the screenshot, right? And then I would scroll again. Okay, this got 7.6 million. Screenshot that. And then I would look again. Screenshot that. And what you want to do is you want to screenshot 5 covers a day whenever you're in your, whenever your focus is studying for covers, you want to screenshot 5 covers a day. And then once you have your screenshots, you want to crop out the screenshot so only the cover is showing. So once I take a screenshot of this whole page, I want to crop out, whatever one is the spike or has over 1 million views. And then last but not least, you want to make an album in your camera roll of covers that you want to recreate. So like in your phone, you can like select all the screenshots that you take and you can create an album and you name that album, covers or whatever you want to name it. But you want to make an album so you have all these screenshotted covers that you want to recreate. You have these all in one place. Now, step 2 is execution. Now that you have all these covers, you want to go ahead and start executing on these covers and trying to actually recreate them. And just to show you guys, I did this myself. This is from March 2023. These are like all the screenshots that I was taking of covers when I was studying covers. Right? These are all screenshots. and they all had like 1.6 million. This one had 6.2 million. These were all screenshots of things that I was trying to recreate. Now, the biggest thing with execution is actually like doing and setting up the cover to look this way before you ever edit it. Editing is like comes after the fact. You want to get it to look like your screenshots before you even edit or touch any editing software whatsoever. You want to get it to look as close as whatever you're screenshotting as possible. So I'm going to go over this example of how I executed this cover that got over 1 million views. All right, so I'm going through the actual footage in my own camera roll, and this is how I set that cover up. So I actually had a screenshot of somebody doing like that half and half, you know, this type of thing. And I already had that in my camera roll. So when I'm actually setting this up, like this is how it looked. This is without any editing. So if I press play, it's an actual video. Like this is how it looks. So I basically, he had like a bush and I cut half of it down and I left half of it there. And then I shaped this side of his head up and I left this side, like I pulled his hair down to look like super overgrown, you know, to make it like over exaggerate. Like he had a bush. So I'm literally pulling this hair. I'm pulling it down to make it like look like it's super overgrown or make it look like I pushed him back. And then I'm taking a video. And then I took a screenshot from this video. And if we go over, I did it again. I think I kind of cleaned this up because this was like a little bit over. So I went back, I looked at the video and I'm like, this looks a little uneven. Let me like clean it up some more on the bush right here. And then I did it again. So yeah, so that's how it looks before I ever did any editing. Before it looked all straight. You see how straight it looks and all that? Right? And it looks all like perfect and it's got the white highlight and stuff. I made sure, hey, this is the setup. It looks like this already. And what I did was I shaped up half his head, shaped the line up. I cut half the hair down and I pulled this down to over exaggerate his hair. And I even sprayed some fibers right here. Like I put my fiber card here, like my enhancement card, and I sprayed some fibers on that line right there to make it like really look like a line. So then when I go to edit it, it'll really look like this. So execution, you really have to set these actions up before you edit. You have to make it look as close as possible to the screenshot that you have. Now, that's how you execute. I'm going to show you the method that I did to actually execute this. So how I actually did this, I already made a post about this back in the day when I started my covers. This was in March of last year. But I'm just going to do a quick overview. Pretty much why you take the screenshots so you can set the cover up and you try to set it up as close as possible. So this should be what you're trying to set up, right? This is the cover setup. And then you're trying to execute this cover. You're getting different angles, things like that. And then you're like taking the cover photo. And now you have the screenshot pulled up right next to your photo. So when you're going to set this up, right, you should have whatever's the screenshot that you're trying to recreate right next to it, so you can get it as close as possible to what you're trying to carbon copy as far as the screenshot, as far as covers go, right? So this is what I did. This was my cover photo. This is what I'm trying to recreate. So it's literally in the next tab. I'm looking at it. And then I'm coming back here, then you'll see me moving the camera around. I'm trying to adjust the angle, right? This is before any editing. This is just how you execute. I'm taking a picture and then I'm looking back. Does it look like this? I want it to look like this. Is this how it's looking? Let me make sure it looks like this. And then you go to the thing if my Wi-Fi wants to work today. So I'll go ahead and put that in here for you guys. That is how you execute. Once the execution is done, now that's when you get into editing. So you have to make sure you're executing at this level. Like it has to be as close to the screenshot as possible. It has to look like it's already a good looking cover. I could have posted this like this and it would probably still bang. But because I edited it, it makes it pop out even more. So when you start editing, there's two apps you can choose from that we have used in the past. If you have any other editing apps for covers, please comment them in the comments so everybody can learn from everybody's game. But Me personally, I use Facetune and Snapseed, mostly Facetune. But when I was doing covers, these were the two that everybody was using. So get these apps, and if you're using a different app, please comment it. And if you see any apps in the comments, feel free to try them out as well. Now, I already have a few examples of me editing a cover and doing a full breakdown on the school platform. So if you click this one, it's a full Facetune tutorial of how I kind of do that half and half hairline cover. I go over, how I did it and, how I edit it. But really the main thing about editing is having it look as clean as possible before you edit it. It makes editing so much easier. And then I have a second one here that you guys can watch, and it's another tutorial on how I do a certain type of cover, a different cover that usually bang for me. If anybody knows any other cover tutorials, editing tutorials, I know there's a lot on the school platform. Even me just typing in cover edit, there's a couple cover things. I know there's other cover tutorials that other people have done. Like if I type in Snapseed, I believe Greg has one as well. So I'll put this one in here too. And there's a lot of cover tutorials on how to edit. But really, editing is just going to come down to how well you actually set up the cover when you're going through the setup, right? How well this is set up, and then it's just going to come with repetition. It's going to come with reps. It's going to come with practicing your covers and practicing editing the covers. The more you do it, it's just like editing videos. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with the tools and things like that. But I did put some links in here of some editing tutorials to help you out. If anybody else knows any links, or if they want to make a loom about theirs and how they edit, or send a screen recording of how you personally edit your covers, please share it to the community so we can all learn and we can all grow with our covers. And last but not least, feedback. Of course, whenever you're in the program and you're doing something, you always want to hop on Q&A calls or talk to your CSM to get feedback on how you can keep improving. Now, the best way to get feedback with covers is using the app called InstaSize. It's an app that you can kind of make a collage of two different photos. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of photo editing apps that you can put two photos together, but I just noticed that InstaSize works the best for me. So what InstaSize allows you to do is kind of put a photo like next to each other. So this was my screenshot of the cover I was trying to do, and then this was like what I did. And then you can bring this to your CSM or bring this to a Q&A call and say, hey, I tried to execute this cover. How can I get better? Now you can do this before you edit. In this case, I was doing this before I edited. I guess my CSM, who was Joey, I don't know if anybody knows Joey. I guess he was telling me, hey, just send me you executing the cover before you start editing. So maybe we do InstaSize with no edits before you start editing, so you can just get execution down first. But this is how you get feedback. You get the InstaSize, you put the screenshot and yours next to each other, and then you see the differences. If we look, there's another one. Like I got a few screenshots here. As you can see, this was April 2023. So this was, this was during my journey. This is all what I did. And I know we got one scene. Here's some more screenshots. And then here we go. Here's some split screens again. So this one got 2 million. And I see that this cover worked. I believe this cover was from Mike. And then I was trying to execute the cover in my way, right? And that's how I made it. And then also we had this one in the middle. So I tried to do something like that. And same thing with this. It was like this one got 1 million. So I tried to like recreate that. And then same thing here, trying to do that. So that's how you can go ahead and get feedback when you're working on covers. I also have made a post about InstaSize and how I helped my guy Carlos work on his covers by giving feedback. And this was how he was doing it. And then I was giving him feedback on his covers. So then this way you can clearly see, like if you pulled, this is yours and this is the cover, you can clearly see, hey, your mustache is not as sharp. The way you edited this highlight is not fully blended in. You don't have a circle right there. There's a lot of things where it's like I can tell you something, but you might not be able to see it. But if we have InstaSize and we can literally look at both cover photos right here in real time, you can easily see what us as CSMs and Daniel is like pointing out to you and giving you feedback on. You can clearly see it yourself, and then you can know how to improve. So I'm going to go ahead and link this video in the document as well. And so I put that link in here as well. And then in that link, I just explained like how to use this and how it can help. And I also put you can get feedback before or after you edit the covers. So like how I was doing it in my personal ones, I was doing it before I edited because I was just trying to get execution right before you edit. So if I had to break this down, so this is the notes I'm going to give you guys, pressurized covers, you know. But if I had to break this down into steps, I would say step one, you got to study, find some cover photos, and find some cover photos, crop them out to where it's only that photo. Take screenshots of them and crop them out, and then put them in a album in your phone. So then when you go to execute, you can always easily pull that up on your phone, right? And whenever you're studying, just try to find 5 covers a day. It's really not that hard, and always look for spikes. Spikes meaning or look for things that have over 1 million views, right? Now execution, you always want to set up the client to look as close as possible to the cover before, like when you're actually doing it. So when you're looking at a cover and it's screenshotted, you have to look at the picture that you screenshotted and say, damn, what do I need to do to my client to get this look? What do I need to do to make my phone, me holding my phone right here like this, what do I need to do to get this to look like what is screenshotted right here? How do I need to do that? Do I need to shape him? Do I need to shape his hairline up halfway? Do I need to part his hair over here? Do I need to wet the hair so when I pull out, everything is straight, and then I'm doing like a scissor? Whatever your screenshot is, you got to make sure it looks as close as possible to that while you're taking the picture, and always have the photo up while you're executing. So let me add that in here. Always have the screenshot up in next tab while executing. And then again, this is an example of that, right? So first, study, get screenshots of cover photos with over 1 million. Second, execute. Have your photos up and then set up your client to make it look as clean as possible when you're executing. 3, editing. Use editing apps to go ahead and edit. You can look at, there's multiple tutorials here on our school platform that people in this program have actually used themselves. You can go on YouTube and look how to edit photos, whatever you need to do. And everybody who, if you use any different type of editing, or if you're very good at covers, please comment your game down below too. And then step 4 is getting feedback. Use InstaSize, put the 2 or any collage app, comment your apps down below. But we really just want to have something that has both pictures next to each other. That way we can go ahead and compare the 2 and see where you need to improve at. Now you can do this before you edit. So I would suggest, hey, let's get 5 covers done with no editing and come get some feedback. And then we do 5 more to really get good at it, to make the improvements from the first feedback. Once we do 5 more, now we're good to edit. Now let's go. We know how to execute. Now let's go edit. You go ahead, get the cover photos, you edit them. Okay, now you bring them back. You put them in InstaSize and you bring them back to a Q&A call, and then we can go over your editing. All right. So this is the process on how I personally did my covers. Please, anybody who does covers any type of way, let us know in the comments. Let me know if this helped you, and I look forward to seeing some covers in our Q&A calls and as CSMs, so we can go ahead and ramp these covers up as well. Biggest thing with covers as well, focus on the content first. If you're not getting consistently at least a K on every single one of your videos, you shouldn't be worried about covers. You should be focused on hooks and improving your content. You should only be focused on covers if you have the understanding of how content works, you know how to carbon copy, and you're starting to get results on a more consistent basis. Then you need to start working on covers, right? Don't think that, hey, I need to start working on covers, and then you're going to get thumbnail and it's going to be clickbait. We don't want it to be clickbait. We want your videos to be good first. Then you work on a cover to get more people to kind of clickbait them into actually watching a good video. Okay? So with that being said, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Again, I cannot stress it enough. If you have any game for us, any links, any YouTube tutorials, any apps that you personally use for your covers, please let us know in the comments. And I look forward to seeing some more talk about covers in the program. And I look forward to y'all applying some pressure. See y'all soon.